Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet, Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio. Sponsored by BASF, where you can count on the trusted performance of Ellevo seed treatment to protect your soybean crop. I am Allison Kinney. Now let's take a look at what's making agricultural news. Chinese purchasers of soybeans from the U.S. appear to have stalled only 2 weeks after the U.S. touted a wide-ranging trade truce between the two countries. Bloomberg said it appeared to show a thawing in relations between the world's biggest economies. Chinese imports of American cargoes seem to have faltered after a flurry of orders in October. That's according to traders who asked not to be identified while discussing confidential information with Bloomberg. The traders said they were not aware of any new shipments. Bloomberg said the pause is causing significant uncertainty over whether the biggest consumer of American soybeans will be back in the market at a level the White House claimed to expect. An agricultural broker with StoneX in Singapore said many exports view China's commitment to purchase 12 million metric tons of U.S. soybeans this year to be more of a diplomatic gesture than a firm agreement. Also making headlines today, the National Cattlemen's Beef Association announced its continued support for the Direct Interstate Retail Exemption for Certain Transactions Act. The legislation would increase market opportunities for smaller meat processors and give consumers more options to buy local beef. The cattle business benefits greatly from expanding marketing opportunities, and the Direct Act opens the door to a growing number of cattle producers seeking to grow their market across state lines, said Buck Wervine, president of the NCBA. The increased market exposure for these cattlemen and women who are selling beef directly to consumers adds value and promotes tremendous benefit for our farmers and ranchers. The Direct Act would allow state-inspected meat processors to sell their beef across state lines and limited quantities and through e-commerce directly to consumers. The bill also protects food safety by ensuring a paper trail exists for tracing and containing potential food safety issues. Now let's check in with our weekly update from the Ohio Soybean Council and your checkoff dollars at work.
Joining me today is Dr. Laura Lindsay, OSU Extension soybean and small grain specialist. And Laura, we want to take a look back at this year's harvest, as soybean harvest is pretty much wrapped up across the Buckeye State. And boy, variability seems like it's the word of the day.
Yes. Reports that I've heard from people, it's extremely variable within a county even. And our performance trials, our variety testing program shows variability across the state as well.
As you take a look at some of those yields that you guys plant in different parts of the state, what were some of the highs and lows that you saw?
Surprisingly, Henry County in Northwest Ohio, our late variety trial averaged close to 76 bushels per acre, which is extremely unexpected given the dry conditions. But there was adequate rainfall or soil moisture through July before that water turned off later in August and September. So we really think that moisture helped carry those soybeans through. Sandusky County, which is also the northern region, but a little bit further east, our average yields there were about 64 bushels per acre for our late maturing varieties, but that tends to be a sandier soil. So some differences there, I think, coming through due to soil moisture differences.
What was the high you heard around the state?
For us, our highest in our performance trials was Licking County. We had a few varieties go over 100 bushels per acre, which is absolutely outstanding for any year. Our average yield in Preble County for our early varieties was 92 bushels per acre. So down there, Preble County was also very good.
Again, my guest today is Dr. Laura Lindsay, OSU Extension soybean and small grain specialist, taking a look back at this past growing season and some of the yield results. Dr. Lindsay, thanks so much for your time today.
Yep, thank you.
And today's update is brought to you by the Ohio Soybean Council and your soybean checkoff.
And now rounding out the headlines today, Brian Rexing, an Indiana dairy farmer and member of the Dairy Farmers of America Cooperative, was chosen as the 15th chairman at the National Milk Producers Federation Joint Annual Meeting. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve as your chairman, Rexing said in his first remarks since being named to the position by the NMPF Board of Governors. I may be stepping into this role, but it isn't about me, but about who we represent in the future we're building together. Rexing and his wife, Renelle, operate the new generation Generation Dairy near Owensville, Indiana. They milk 1,200 cows and farm 3,500 acres of corn, beans, wheat, and alfalfa. Brian is a fourth-generation farmer and has 4 children. He's the vice president of the Evansville Young Dairyman and has received Indiana's Producer of the Year award in 2010. In 2021, Brian purchased a meat processing plant with a retail store. Now let's take a look at the markets. Brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Learn more online at seedconsultants.com. December corn closing in today up 6 1/4 at 441 1/2. March corn is also up 6 1/4 at 455 1/2. May corn is up 5 3/4 at 463. November soybeans are up 11 1/2 at 1132. January soybeans up 13 1/4 at 1147. December wheat is down 1/4 cent at 535 3/4. July wheat is unchanged at 575. December live cattle are down 627 at 219. February live cattle down 602 at 218.95. And December lean hogs are down 255 at 78.07. Thanks for joining us. You're listening to the Ohio AgNet.